My question is entitled Integrating Infants and Toddlers into the Public Education System. My question, do you support infants and toddlers into the public education system? For example, by expanding pre-K to include birth to 5 services, by creating public early childhood centers, co-locating within the public school system, which is the elementary schools. We know, especially in Detroit, I can only speak for Detroit, we have undercapacity. We have schools that are closing due to undercapacity. Okay. And how would you ensure quality, continuity of care, and coordination with pediatric health and social services? Would you want me to put it in layman terms for you?
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Hello. So you touched on quite a few issues, and let me try and unpack those one by one. So when it comes to, I like to put everything in economic terms, not just because of the money, but because this is how it impacts all of our lives one way or another. So there are two things. Number one, early childhood education is the single factor, the single intervention that you can have to close education, particularly reading comprehension scores. So just last month, I think back in mid-February, we found that I think around roughly almost 90% of fourth grade students in DPS cannot read at grade level. And that comes from early childhood education. The second part of it is that we don't have women having the opportunity to enter the workforce because they're required to stay home with their children. So we have a very dire need for expanding childcare services at reasonable costs. So if we're constantly telling our women that we don't want you to become quote unquote welfare queens, but they want to go to work and they can't have anyone at home to take care of the children, what is the solution? The only solution is to have something like, as you're suggesting, to expand not only in terms of our infant care, but also having our school system expanding beyond the 3 o'clock time. We should have after school programs inside the school. We should have a second meal after school that allows us to have a very strong home environment, because one of the third problems that we face as a community is that we grew up, and I grew up in, like I said before, near the Brewster homes. So we know what happens after school when we're out in the streets, running the streets. So closing that gap by having a more solid and controlled home environment in the school, whether it's with the early education all the way to to our teens, having programs after school, allowing them to have teachers in the classroom help them with their homework, so they don't have an excuse of not making their homework, and then also having mentorship programs and having more time to focus on their social skills as well.